But we know all students and teachers made it out of that school at the center safely. We also know both of the suspects are dead. We have team coverage tonight. Our Steve Price has more on the young students being reunited with their families. Our Steffi Roche is gathering new information on the 3 victims and the suspects. But first, let's get out to News 8's Shannon Handy. Shannon, you've been there from the beginning. You were on the scene from that news conference that a lot happened in. What can you tell us about what we just learned?
Yeah, I'm going to try and summarize this as best I can. The news conference just wrapped from Police Chief Scott Wall. We also heard from the mayor as well as the FBI as well as the head of the mosque. Essentially what's adding to the coverage, which we've already been reporting on, 2 hours before this shooting occurred, San Diego police got a call from a concerned mother. She let San Diego police know that her 17-year-old son was possibly suicidal. He had left their home in her car and had taken 3 of her firearms. And she indicated that there may have been some hate rhetoric. I don't know if this was written down somewhere or something he had said to her, and that he was with an acquaintance and they were dressed in camo. So this immediately set off some alarms. So San Diego police actually used their license plate reader system, and they found that the vehicle was near Fashion Valley. They went over there. They did not discover anything. They also set up some security measures over at Madison High School. Apparently, the 17-year-old is a student at Madison High School. So just to kind of recap that, there was a concerned mother who said her 17-year-old son had left the home with firearms and was possibly suicidal and had indicated some type of hate rhetoric. As police were investigating those reports and trying to follow this vehicle or determine where it might end up, that's when they got the call from the Islamic Center of a shooting. Officers arrived within 4 minutes. This was around 11:45. When they arrived, they encountered 3 male adults dead outside the mosque. We know one of them was a security guard. The other 2, those victims' names have not been released. What adds to the complication of this story is after that initial call at the mosque where the 3 victims were found dead, police were hearing of another shooting a few blocks away. There was a landscaper working at a home near the mosque. He was in the front yard and he said someone drove by and shot at him. Now, Chief Wall earlier had indicated this landscaper was not injured, but during the second news conference, he said that the landscaper was wearing a helmet, and it's possible that a bullet hit his helmet and that helmet may have saved his life. As officers were at that second scene, they got yet another call of another shooting a few blocks from there, and that is where they discovered a vehicle parked in the middle of the road. Inside that vehicle were 2 teenagers dead from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. They believe these 2 to be the suspects, the 17-year-old and an 18-year-old acquaintance. We do not know the relationship between the 2. So, as you can imagine, there are a lot of details to get through, but just to recap all of that, we know that 3 adult male victims were shot and killed here at the mosque, and the 2 suspected teenage gunmen were found dead from self-inflicted gunshot wounds in the middle of the street. I know that the mayor had talked about this as being a hate crime. Here's what he had to say just a few minutes ago.
Hate has no home in San Diego. Islamophobia has no home in San Diego. An attack on any San Diegan is an attack on all San Diegans, and we will not stand for it in America's finest city.
And that was, of course, a message that we've been hearing throughout the day as this has unfolded. I spoke with a family member of 2 children who go to the school associated with the mosque, visibly very upset. She was expressing her frustration to me, saying, this should not be a place where you should be scared to go, a place of worship or a place where you send your children to school. We shared images, we've been sharing them all day, these heartbreaking images of children being escorted out of the school, terrified, and then families arriving to the school not knowing what was going on and not knowing if their children were safe. Carlo?
What a terrifying day. Shannon, that was really just an incredible job just setting what happened today. We learned a lot of new information there. Way to set that out for people. One thing I wanted to ask you, we couldn't quite hear all the questions. Did anyone ask Chief Wall why we're not learning the identities of the two suspects that were found dead at this point? Because it seems clear they know the identities. Why aren't we learning those?
He did not say. The question specifically was not asked. I went to go ask that question, and the chief shut down any more questions. I have a feeling it's because this is still under investigation and they're still trying to gather more details. Also, Carlo, he did mention that search warrants right now are currently being served, and I would guess that one of those search warrants, or at least two of them, are at the homes of these teenage suspects. And when you release the names, of course, then it becomes a media frenzy, and we figure out where they live, and it just becomes a little more chaotic. So my guess is that they want to wait until they can gather more for this investigation.
Great insight there. Shannon Handy reporting live. Thanks, Shannon. She finished on the note about the suspects. Our Steffi Roche is near Hatton Street, near dead end there, where the two suspects were found dead of apparently self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Steffi, you've been out there for a while. What new are we learning out there?
Well, the scene is a bit quieter out here now. It's still active. You can see this police tape here behind me, but most of the action is down there behind me in the area of 3800 Hatton Street. That is where those two teen suspects were found dead. I'm going to step to the side so you can take a better look at this scene over here. Like I said, the scene still active. It's a little quieter. Still blocked off for now. Law enforcement, they are down there now, but this is close as we are allowed to get from our vantage point. We don't have a clear picture of that car in question where the teens were found dead, believed to be from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Police, they are completely blocking off residents. They cannot get through to their homes no matter what. This appears to be a police vehicle coming in right now. Yeah, that's a police vehicle, not a resident. Residents, they are unable to get into their homes. We've been talking to some of them out here. People have been hanging out, looking out. But residents who are trying to get back to their homes, they are incredibly frustrated. Here's what one son and mother told me a little while ago, about an hour ago.
4-year-old mom is right here in the car. We live on Hatton Street right there. He can let us go through. He wants us to park here and have a 94-year-old woman walk 500 yards to get her medication. No, it's not, Mom. Yeah, I mean, it's horrible that somebody got killed. Multiple people got killed. Horrible. But a woman that's 94 years old right now that lives 1 block away, needs to get to her meds, they won't let us through.
Yeah, and police are still not letting anyone through, not homeowners. No one is allowed through at this time. I've been listening in. San Diego police are still saying that it might be hours before they open up this road. But I'm going to send it back to Carlo at the desk now.
Well, it takes them a long time to process those crime scenes. Steffi Roche, thanks. And as we mentioned, young children had to be evacuated by police from the Islamic Center today after the reports of the active shooter came in. Police rushed to the scene. You see some of them right there. We saw the images of students holding hands as they were being taken to safety, led through on lines connected to each other. News 8's Steve Price is live at the Islamic Center, where those students were reunited with their relieved loved ones. Steve.
Yeah, relieved parents indeed, Carlo. They heard while they were at work that there was a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. They rushed to get here, but as Stephanie alluded to, a lot of streets in the area closed off, a lot of people trying to get to one place at the same time, so a lot of traffic, a lot of not knowing what was going on. And then, of course, just the chaos of the situation and that heartbreaking scene that we have been showing you of the kids walking out hand in hand with police officers, with teachers escorting them to a safer area. I had a chance to speak with a father, and he got the call at work that there was a shooting at his child's school. And I had a chance to talk to him about what it was like, and then just about the situation, what we're facing today across the world. Listen to you. Listen to this.
This is very scary. Like I was like, this is the, I'm cold feet. I have goosebumps in my hand, and this is the scariest part of staying in the United States and sending the kids to school, especially that when it is a Muslim school where there are all Muslim people, and because of the hate crime and people not liking us and stuff like that. So this is a very scary moment for us. Yeah, I'm really scared.
How old's your child?
He is 8 years.
So in
grade 2.
Second grade?
Grade 2.
Now, have you heard he's okay?
Yes, I talked to the teacher and I have a video call. He's doing okay. They're scared, nervous. Now they're at a safe location. So, yeah.
How awesome was that video call to talk to your son and see him and know he was okay?
That's the biggest relief, For sure. Seeing them and talking to me and making sure that he's safe and no harm came to him. Yeah, that was a very big sign of release. I'm just waiting to hug him and take him home, man. Yeah.
Just wants to hug him and take him home. Yeah, a lot of parents with that same sentiment today. Carlo, the good news is that now all of these students have been reunited with their families. And adding to the confusion, there is a charter school actually across the street. And so those parents were trying to get to their kids as well, but that school was in lockdown. So they had to be very methodical in how they let everybody out, so there wasn't just all this chaos and confusion with kids leaving without a parent there. And so they were very organized, but it did take a long time. But tonight, finally, all the kids back with their parents. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Steve, that parent was so eloquent in how he expressed his concerns and fears. I don't know if you had the chance to talk to other parents maybe off camera. Is that the things he expressed, the fear, the concerns that this is happening in America to them, especially as Muslims, is that a common thing that you're hearing from people on the ground there?
Without question, they are concerned and scared. And we're not hearing about it just at centers like this, but we were reporting earlier today that the Jewish Community Center was also concerned about what was going on. Nobody really knew why this was targeted and what would be targeted next. And unfortunately, that's the reality of what we're living in today. I tried to talk to another mom, and about 3 or 4 words in, she just broke down in tears, and we stopped the interview and just told her, take your time. And we ended up leaving her so she could get to her child faster. But that's the emotion that we're seeing today, unfortunately, Carlo.
Yeah. And after seeing 2 of these mass shootings at religious sites in San Diego in the last 7 years, this is something that, unfortunately, we're starting to see those kinds of reactions and their echoes from each time. It's just a terrifying thought that more parents are going to have to go through this.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Steve Price reporting for us. Thanks, Steve. And we'll continue to update you on any new information we learn from today's deadly shooting. Follow CBS 8 on social media or download the free CBS 8 app on your phone and TV.